We are going to study the topic Program Planning from course Fundamentals of Agricultural Extension. In this topic, we will see principles and steps in program planning in detail. Before switching towards main topic, let me narrate few important terminologies related to this topic and also which are usually asked in objective type of question in section B. So the first important terminology is planning. Planning is designing a course of action to achieve desired ends. Or we can say planning is a process which involves studying the past and present in order to forecast the future. Objectives. Objectives are the expression of the ends towards which our efforts are directed. Next is goal. Goal is the distance in any given direction one expects to go during a given span of time. Project is a specification of work to be done or procedure to be followed in order to accomplish a particular objective. A program is the total educational job being done in a particular setting. Next, the very important definition, that is extension program. Extension program is a statement of situation, objectives, problems and solutions. Program planning is a continuous series of activities as per a definite plan of action just to achieve a particular objectives. Evaluation is the process of determining the extent to which we have been able to attain our objectives. So, these are the important terminologies which are usually asked in your final examination in objective type of question. Now we'll see the important topic, that is the principles of program planning in detail. Principles of program planning. In this, the first principle is that extension program should be based on an analysis of the past experiences, present situation and future needs. In this, for program determination, the adequate or sufficient information of people to be collected is important. Second principle is that extension program should have clear and significant objectives which can be easily attainable rather than ideal one, and also should be very simply or clearly stated. Third principle is priority of the program should be based on available resources and time. In this, that the rural communities may have multiple problems, so it's not possible to solve all this at a time. So out of that, the most important problems which can be solved by the available resources they have, that may be the funds, facilities or other natural resources they have at that particular time, should be selected. Extension program should have a general agreement at various levels from village to the national level. The program prepared at all the levels, that is from village, district, state up to the national, should be accepted and shall not work at cross purposes. Or we can say that extension program of one department should also not be in conflict or contradiction with extension program of other departments. Fifth principle is that extension program should involve relevant institutions and organization. As for success of the program, support from all the other organizations or institutions is needed. The program should broadly indicate how the other institutions will contribute in success or in attaining the objectives of the program. Next principle is that extension program should have definite plan of work. Unless the plan of work is drawn up, the program remains theoretical exercise. Plan of work can help to know who will play what role and when. So it's very important to plan the activities at prior. Then next principle is that extension program should make arrangements of evaluation of results and reconsideration of the program. In this, extension program is not very much static one, but it's dynamic. So for success of the program, arrangements of periodical monitoring by expert agencies and evaluation of results to know its progress should be done, so that if needed, possible changes in the program can be undertaken to achieve its objectives. And the last principle is that extension program should have equitable distribution of benefits. In this, usually the community is in the community, mostly the resource rich people or the resource rich persons, they acquire more benefits compared to the resource poor people. So it is must that both the sections should be equally benefited by the extension program, so that to minimize the social disparity or the social tensions, or rather we can say extension program should focus the weaker sections of the society at priority. Now we'll see steps in program planning. They are collection of facts, analysis of situation, identification of problems, determination of objectives and goals, development of plan of work, follow through the plan of work, evaluation of progress, reconsideration and revision of program. So collection of facts is the starting point of the program planning process. In this, the data may be collected from the available records, that may be primary or secondary records, and by conducting the survey of that particular area. In this, the information required is about the people, their enterprises, levels of technology, facilities and constraints or the problems they have, or the values they follow. And usually we can also get this, we can collect some information from the panchayats, cooperatives and also the other organizations or the institutions in that particular area. So second step is analysis of situation. In this, whatever data we have collected, that is analyzed along with the local people, so that it could be helpful in understanding the situation in its proper perspective. Now we'll see the third step, that is identification of problems. In this, after interpretation and analysis of the data, we may come through number of problems of the rural communities. But out of these many problems, we have to select the urgent and the most important or the significant one which needs the immediate solution, or which we can solve with the available resources and within the limits of time. Now we'll see the fourth step, that is determination of objectives and goals. Objectives are the expressions of the ends towards which our efforts are directed. Objectives are set forth on the basis of the significant needs identified. And objectives are usually direct and stated in very clear terms. To make the objective realistic and actionable, there is need to state them in terms of a specific goals, so that they can be easily attainable. Now we'll see the fifth step, that is developing plan of work or calendar of operations. In this, the plan of work should be in a written form. It shall indicate who shall do what job, means what are the duties of the change agent system, that is the extension worker, and what are the tasks of the client system, that is the farmer or the beneficiaries of the extension program. What are the duties of extension worker, and what are the roles and responsibilities or the task of the participants, beneficiaries or the farmers is explained in the plan of work. In this, it also tells about which institutions and organizations should be involved during the extension program. For example, that may be various institutions such as marketing agencies, that may be financial institutions, or any institution providing training to the farmers or the extension workers, etc. And calendar of operations, it is specifically it state how and when all the important activities shall be performed. Now we will see the sixth step, that is follow through plan of work and calendar of operations. So this is not a routine type of work as we may think, but in this case the extension worker has to perform the special activities such as training of participants, conducting method demonstration, making regular visits and monitoring, etc. He may also have to solve some kind of unforeseen problems which has suddenly erupt during the extension program and need to take the corrective steps to solve them. At this stage, the performance of the extension agent and organizational support received, it's so important because it may make the difference between success or failure of a program, or which may lead to the success or failure of a program. And at this stage, obtaining the feedback information from the participants or the farmers is very important. Now we'll see the seventh step of program planning, that is evaluation of progress. Evaluation is the process of determining the extent to which we have been able to attain our objectives. All the extension programs must have an inbuilt system of evaluation, because evaluation helps us to know how well the work is done, and it also ensures whether all the steps are correctly followed or not. Then evaluation it involves the following three essential steps. First one is we need to set up some standards or the criteria in relation to the objectives or by considering the objectives, and we should also collect the information and make a judgment and draw some unbiased and valid conclusions after interpretation of that collected information. Evaluation may be carried out that may be formal or by the informal agencies, but it is the most important stage in the program planning. Now we will see the last step of program planning, that is reconsideration and revision of the program. On the basis of the results of evaluation, the program should be reconsidered and revised if needed. This reconsideration should be done not only in the participants but also with the scientists, extension agents and local bodies like panchayats, etc. So reconsideration shall help in making the necessary corrections and modifications in the program. It may help us to know the technical defects, if any, or it may also help us how to obtain the more cooperation from the participants or the community members or the villagers. The purpose of such type of exercise is to make the extension program more effective by removing the defects. So this is very important stage of the program planning process. So if this question is asked during your final examination, it is mandatory to draw the diagrammatic representation of the steps in extension program planning and explain all the steps in short. Thank you. Have a nice day.